Well, hello and welcome to this edition of 907 Sports, where it is all Alaska all the time. Jordan Rodenberger calling the plays in this one as very much an Alaskan weekend, especially on the ice. It was a rivalry week between our Fairbanks and Anchorage hockey programs. And we're going to start in Fairbanks for the Governor's Cup, the coveted cup between the University of Alaska Anchorage and the University of Alaska Fairbanks, which has been a bit one-sided over the last decade and a half or so. The last 14 straight Gov Cups going to the Nanooks, but this is a new year, a new slate, the first installment of what is set to be 8 games this season. And we're going to, of course, have a great game to start things off on Friday night. After this Aaron Rearson goal to tie things up 1-1, we're going to go scoreless the rest of the way, including in overtime, which sets us up for shootouts. UAA netminder Tyler Kristoff comes up with the last stop as the Seawolves pick up that Friday night shootout victory. And here's how the point system kind of works, is that's worth 2 points, while a regulation win is worth 3 and an overtime shootout loss is worth 1 point. So Saturday night, things looking a little different. UAF had control all the way in this one, 4-1 the final, as they got 4 goals from 4 different players. So after the first weekend, the UAF Nanooks lead the Governor's Cup series in points 4-2, as we got 6 more games to go, and the next being February 6th and 7th. Now checking in on the Fairbanks Ice Dogs and the Anchorage Wolverines in junior hockey, and yep, that's right where we left them off at, duking it out on center ice. We have seen and will continue to see more scuffles between these two teams. No love lost, of course, but really is what happens on the ice, what happens putting the puck in the net. So let's see how that one went. And of course on Friday we had double dipped in the shootouts, this one going to that one as well. This time it's the Wolverines protecting the home ice. Aiden Lawson coming up with a big goal there, while Kai Weigel, the goaltender, did pretty well in net, stopping a ton of shots there to help secure that shootout victory over their in-state rival. But it's what the goalie did the next night that was even more unbelievable.
And that's one you got to slide that puck to Trumpeter there.
Weigel out of the net, stops with it, shoots it down the ice, off the glove of Ruiz, it's bouncing, it's in! Holy smokes! Kai Weigel, the goalie goal with 46 seconds left on the clock! You have got to be kidding me!
No way, Isaac, I don't believe what I just saw!
A goalie goal from the Anchorage Wolverines, their first in the young franchise's history. Full length of the ice, just it's what goalies dream of. And on top of that, he stopped 34 of 36 shots sent his way. So doing it with the stick and his pads, you know, who would have thought they would be contributing goals there? But just an unbelievable moment. And again, the opponent as well, pretty cool moment that we'll be seeing more of on our broadcast as well. And after what was a slower start to the mushing season, it is off and running now. This Friday, more than 20 teams will take off from Bethel for the Kuskokwim 300, the 47th running of what's known as the premier mid-distance sled dog race in the world. A highly competitive, highly anticipated race with a $250,000 prize purse. And this race is headlined by Bethel's very own Pete Kaiser. He won this race for a record-tying 9th time last year, could separate himself as the standalone king of the Kuskokwim this year. Very impressive performances out of him. 9 of the last 11 K300s going to him. And I got a chance to chat with the race manager, Paul Basil, about this race. Here is a portion of that interview. Conditions look like? How is the snowfall? The conditions, what are we kind of looking at as far as trail for the K300 this year?
Yeah, I'm reluctant to say it out loud, but things are looking about as good as they've ever looked. We've had a good winter with some good snow on the ground, and the really extreme cold we had the last few weeks has subsided, and so we have moderate temperatures and a really nice trail. So yeah, things are looking great.
Talk to me a little bit about the sign-up process and kind of where we stand at with the field now.
Yeah, we've been the last few years in the fortunate position to have a lot of interest in the race. We cap the field at 30 teams, and at some point in November, we reached that threshold and then had a few teams on a wait list. But as typically happens, for any number of reasons, teams drop out as we get pretty close to the date of race week. And I think a lot of that this year has to do with the lack of snow in the Matsu Valley, where a lot of teams are based, and the extreme cold up in the interior. I think some teams just, weren't able to get the training in that they hoped. But there's a laundry list of reasons that a dog team might not be ready. So now we're at 23 teams, which is right where we want to be, and really, as usual, a really strong field with lots of familiar names.
Going into the field and mix of experience and youth, what's got you excited about the youth side of the signups and in the mushroom roster for the K300 this year?
Yeah, as seems to have become the norm, we have some really young racers. Most notably this year, Ebony Robinson is back for her second K300. She placed 6th last year as a 17-year-old, which is, obviously really impressive. We also have a young guy named Charlie Chingliak from the village of Akichuk, which is near Bethel. And this will be his first K300. Obviously, I think his name is probably a new one to most of your viewers, but out here, Charlie's been racing for several years. He's done, we put on races all winter, and so he's been doing a lot of our 50 milers and the Akiak Dash and the Bogus Creek 150 a couple times. So yeah, we're excited to see Charlie race.
Yeah, some veterans, of course, and right now the king of the Cusco, Pete Kaiser. How important has he been for the race and representing the race and the area for someone like Pete Kaiser?
Oh yeah, I mean Pete's a great competitor and great representative for the sport, and I think our community here and our region we just kind of have shared pride for all of Pete's success. But yeah, I mean, if we knew Pete was going to win, we wouldn't have the race, right? And so there are 22 other teams that are going to be at the start line on Friday that would very much like to beat him.
Of course, this is the big event for the weekend, but touching on the series and kind of where we're at and where we're heading and how that's going so far this year and what's ahead for that.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. So the K300 Race Committee actually puts on 7 races each season, and we have what we call the Delta Championship Series. So 5 of those races are included, and racers get points based on how they finish in each race. So we've had 2 of those events so far this year, and Mike Williams Jr. from Akiak, who's competing in the 300 this weekend. Mike has won both of those races, so he's off to a really strong start in the Delta Championship.
Just how important these races are, what they mean to Western Alaska, the communities, and keeping the sport and the traditions alive, so to speak.
Yeah, I think our organization is really proud of the tradition of mushing out here, and this is the 47th year of the K300, and the organization has grown, as I said, to include all these other races, and the sport is really thriving out here, and it's I think we're a part of that. And it's just really exciting. And, this weekend each year is kind of the culmination of that. And it's really exciting for the community to have so many teams coming from out of town to be a part of it. Yeah, I mean, I think our race has a reputation for being incredibly competitive and challenging. And so that's certainly a part of it. And it's the landscape here is unique and a little different than, a lot of other races, but we also have a really sizable purse. And so I don't think, the K300 this year will award $250,000, which is, as far as I know, the second biggest purse in the sport in the world. And so we wouldn't have, the 19 or however many it is teams coming from outside going through a lot of trouble, spending thousands of dollars and dealing with a lot of challenging logistics to get out here, if not for that prize money. So I think that's part of what puts us on the map too.
The Kuskokwim 300 taking off from Bethel 8 p.m. Friday night. So if you're in the area, be sure to send us some pictures and video. Before we get you out of here in this edition of 907 Sports, I want to remind you that our half-hour special of Athletes of the Year has aired, and you can find it on our website, alaskasnewssource.com. Charlie Fellows, Tyler Lane, and myself reminiscing on the top plays, top moments from 2025. So we're going to leave you with just a portion of that as we send things off. We'll catch you next time.
All right, gentlemen, it's time to take a look back at some of the top moments of 2025. And Charlie, I know one of them happened shortly after you arrived.
Yeah, one that's near and dear to me as well, Tyler. I got my start here in Alaska last summer as an announcer for the Mat-Su Miners of the Alaska Baseball League. And it was an incredible ride, but as much fun as I had in the booth up in Palmer, I think I'd trade it all to call a game and an ending like this.
First offering is into left field for a base hit. Erickson's going to come around. He slips for a second. No, the ball's behind him. And James McGee has put the Miners on top of the world. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Yes, that was a championship-winning walk-off. And yes, that did come at the end of a game the Miners trailed by 6 runs. And yes, I'm jealous of Dylan Vanderveen getting to call that moment. But what a scene at Herman Brothers Field.
Incredible all-time moment. And another all-time moment, UAF Nanoks Volleyball, who had an all-time season for their program, taking down UAA in their first ever meeting at the NCAA tournament. A highlight from 2025 for sure.
How about when Terrence Titus from Northway rewrote the record books, dropping 82 points in a high school game, the most in the state's rich history, and he did it on 60% shooting from the field.
82 points. There were some incredible plays from that game and from the gridiron throughout 2025. We'll quickly go over some of the top plays from the high school football season. And quickly, it's one way to describe how 2-0 Male Celia was moving as he scoops up the fumble and dashes down the field, outrunning everybody for the score. Big man touchdowns, making the top plays. Gotta love it.
And number 4, we stay on the defensive side of the ball for a familiar play, Deuce Aleile Faleula. See, I can say it. Diving for the interception, a rarity for a defensive lineman, but this guy can do it all. Shrugging off that triple team to flip the field. He also had a touchdown later in this game, which his Golden Bears would win.
This next one's a little easier to say as we go back to week 1 for play number 3. West Anchorage taking on South. Manny Maga getting the handoff, and he just refuses to go down. This is a Beastquake type rampage. Took nearly all 11 Wolverines to bring him down. West going on to win that game 13-8.
And number 2, no love for our Alaskan quarterbacks yet, so let's change that. Tatum Pogtis against Colony spins out of pressure, airing it out and dropping it right in the bucket for Colt Jardine. A throw that had to be perfect, a great catch through contact as well.
Certainly.
Both QB and receiver were big parts of that Bartlett playoff run.
And for the top play that we captured of the year, comes in the Division III state championship. Homer's Jackson Snarek, the concentration to come down with a one-handed interception to help seal the championship victory. Snarek, born with Poland syndrome, it impacts the use of his left arm and hand, but it didn't impact him on that one as an all-state cornerback. He's coming up with winning plays for the back-to-back state champion Homer Mariners. Guys, what a fun year we've had so far. Huh?
Do they still call that getting mossed in today's day and age?
Pretty incredible.
We've covered a little bit of everything this year, including, I hear, poker as well.
Yeah, that's where Alaska's Adam Hendricks ran all the way to 6th place at the 2025 World Series of Poker main event, earning a $1.9 million payday, which is pretty good. So we in the sports department wanted to know just how he does it, and the results were exactly what you'd expect.
Let me read this fellow real
Great
quick.
posture here, though.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a treat today.
You can't read me because even I don't know what's going on.
That's great.
I check.
You're witnessing one of the first ever sportscaster
I'm gonna bet 5.
Okay, he calls.
versus professional poker games.
That's fine.
Oh, I call yes.
It's the same. That's fair. I'm gonna raise him.
A thrilling duel
standing dealer. Wow.
You can probably guess the result.
What are you reading from Charlie here?
I think confusion.
He's truly pro.
Alaska's own Adam Hendricks, usually sitting at tables with millions of dollars on the line, taking time instead to join our game.
You can do anything here.
Okay, I check.
Well, besides check.
Hosting such a skilled guest, you knew we had to look the part.
I'm gonna check to the man in sunglasses.
I don't even know what I have, so I'm going to do that too. Yeah. Probably tell who of the four of us in this room this is originally done.
Yeah, it doesn't button.
And eventually, we learned a thing or two.
If I was you, I would have put him all in for every single chip because you already bet 100. He only had 130.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking about doing that just to be funny. Now I'm realizing that was probably a good strategy.
Actually, a right move.
Crucial skills in a game. It can all come down to that last card.
But in poker, you never know.
Yeah, right on. Good times with you guys. What a year it was, and what a year we have ahead of us for our Alaskan athletes.
Oh, absolutely. With the Winter Olympics just around the corner, we've got a few athletes who have already qualified and punched their tickets to Italy. More potentially on the way. I can't wait to see some Alaskans doing what they do best, playing some winter games.
Guys, that's going to be amazing to watch in a few weeks. But until then, we've got an Alaskan trying to make a Super Bowl run right now. So I feel like a lot of people are going to be jumping on that Seahawks bandwagon. Charlie, I don't know. We'll see about you and the Pats in just a little bit. I don't know.
Well, thank you all for tuning in to this edition of Athletes of the Year 2025. We look forward to bringing you more highlights, sound bites, and storylines in 2026.